Child, if y'all thought that things were gonna die down after Diddy's sentencing, you were definitely wrong. In fact, it appears as if things are escalating with reactions left, right, and center, including from Diddy himself, who was on the floor when the sentence was passed. Like, he was even emotional and crying his eyes out from sketches that made rounds. Anywho, on one end, we had people saying that Diddy only being locked up for 4 years when he has terrorized people for literal centuries is diabolical. And on the other hand, we've had people saying that he should not have received any sentence. But you know what? Let's just get right into it. Okay, just for a bit of background, the verdict the judge passed some time back already had people talking, with some saying that it was going to set a nasty precedent and trend for what people, especially those with wealth and power, believe they can get away with. Like, we had people noting that participants were literally on the stand, admitting to having intercourse with Cassie while she was unconscious from supplies by Diddy, but somehow he was found not guilty of the more serious charges. Well, his sentencing also caused quite the buzz, but just before the judge sentenced Diddy to 50 months in prison, he submitted a 4-page letter to the judge on the eve of his sentencing, expressing remorse for certain behavior and pleading with the judge for mercy. Then on the actual day, he read with glasses from a piece of paper in front of him, trying to maintain eye contact with the judge as he told him, "I have nobody to blame but myself." He also broke into tears as he turned around to face his family and told his mother, "I failed you as a son." Then he attributed the pain he inflicted upon women to his selfishness and an addiction, and said he's been reformed after more than a year of detention at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
Ever notice how some people make money online effortlessly while others keep planning forever? Well, the world doesn't reward ideas, it rewards execution. It rewards people who take action, build products, and sell while others scroll. If you don't build your digital leverage now, someone else will, and they'll be the one making money while you're still figuring it out. This ebook will train you to build digital products that print income on autopilot, even if you've never sold anything before. So instead of wasting money on another weekend binge or a Netflix subscription, invest in this guide and start building the system that buys your freedom. Press on the link on the description or click on the I button on the top right to download this ebook that will help you achieve financial freedom.
You know, in the letter, Diddy also noted that he could never forgive someone if they put their hands on one of his daughters, but he nevertheless asked the judge for mercy so that he could take care of his loved ones, including a 2-year-old daughter and his 84-year-old mother, who he said recently had brain surgery. In addition, during the all-day hearing, the court listened to hours of speeches from several of his attorneys, his children, a pastor, and a criminal justice reform advocate who told the court that Diddy was a changed and sober man since detention. Many of Diddy's supporters actually cried as 6 of his 7 children came to the podium to ask the judge for a light sentence, telling him they needed their father. The court also watched a video compilation from his legal team showing him with his children, as well as the funeral of his former girlfriend, Kim Porter, the mother of some of his children, who died in 2018.
Let's keep going forward. Let's go means let's be positive. Let's take it up another notch. Let's go spend time with our kids. Let's go. Let's give thanks to God. Let's go. You know, let's turn it up. Let's get in the vocal booth. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's go. You know, let's understand what it's going to take to achieve that dream. So instead of talking about the violence, I was always talking about a better life. Places we didn't go before. Things we never wore. Cars we never drove. Houses we never lived in. I think I brought an aspiration to hip-hop. Tried to take it out of just being street. Our whole stuff was a fantasy and a dream that I always felt would come true.
However, even with Diddy, his team, and his family crying for mercy, he was still sentenced to 50 months in prison after being found guilty on 2 offenses but acquitted of 3 other charges. In addition to his prison sentence, he will also be required to pay a fine of $500,000 and adhere to 5 years of supervised release. At the hearing, the judge gave an explanation of the cause, stating that while the defense's request of 14 months would not be sufficient, prosecution's suggestion of 135 months was more than what would be necessary. Also during the sentencing, the judge also referenced a famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in his ruling, saying, "As Dr. King taught us, out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. Mr. Combs, your mom writes that you have always been a good son. The same power that enabled you to hurt these women, you could use to help." The judge also noted that Diddy will receive credit for the roughly 13 months he has already spent in custody. And with good behavior, the time spent in prison could even be less. Do you understand what this means? Like, Diddy could be free and back to his normal life within no time. Baby, That right there is what had people fuming, with people saying that he terrorized people for decades only to get a slap on the wrist. Others also said that no matter how much time Diddy gets in jail, when he does come home, he will most certainly continue to do the same thing, but carefully cover his tracks. But then, on the other hand, we had people celebrating the sentence as a win, cause it could have been so much worse. Anyway, following the sentencing, one of the first people to react was Cassie's lawyer, and this is what he said. While nothing can undo the trauma caused by Sean Diddy, the sentence imposed today recognizes the impact of the serious offenses he committed. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, Ms. Ventura will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration to so many. By coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. We must repeat with no reservation that we believe and support our client, who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. Regardless, people still said that the sentence was too light for what he did to Cassie and others. See, when Cassie took the stand in the trial against Diddy, she went into shocking details about what was really going on at the freak-offs. And she said that much of her time was spent recovering from freak-offs, which often lasted at least 1 or 2 days, including one that she said lasted more than 4 days. She also said the freak-offs were very choreographed by Diddy, who provided everything and directed assistance to stockrooms with baby oil. Basically, Cassie said that Diddy subjected her to freak-offs weekly for a consistent amount of years, and she felt pretty horrible about herself. She felt disgusting, and she felt humiliated. She also said that it was impossible to say how many freak-offs she participated in while she was linked to Diddy, though she guessed it may have been hundreds. She also said that Diddy threatened to blackmail her with videos he recorded of her performing during freak-offs if she upset him. Apparently, Diddy told her that she would have to answer to her mother if she upset him. Then she also said that she would suffer urinary tract infections after performing in back-to-back freak-offs, to the point that Cipro, a common UTI antibiotic, no longer worked for her. Other than what Cassie said, there were also various accounts from other people, like a testimony from Daniel Phillip, a 41-year-old male escort who allegedly first became entangled with Diddy and Cassie in 2012, and he said that his relations with them would last around a year. During his testimony, he claimed that during one session with Cassie, he was asked to urinate in her mouth. I know, yuck! Anywho, another person, Israel Flores, a former security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, also recalled an incident between Diddy and Cassie. During his testimony, he recalled the moment he received a call that there was a woman in distress on the 6th floor, and he arrived in the area and saw Diddy in a robe and some colored socks. As for Cassie, she was on the floor covering her face. According to him, Diddy was in a devilish state, while Cassie allegedly looked scared. He also recalled noticing a flower vase in the hallway that was destroyed. Then, when he witnessed Diddy and Cassie fighting, he tried to escort them back to their rooms, and he said that Cassie was trying to escape and walk away, but Diddy allegedly told her, "You're not going to leave." At one point, he said that Diddy even tried to bribe him, but he refused his stash of cash. And when he eventually caught up to Cassie and started questioning her, he noted she had a purple eye. And instead of getting police assistance, she allegedly told him, "I just want to leave." Of course, we also had several other people who gave more details of what they witnessed, and it was truly just sickening. So, given all the accounts, and several others from other people in the public, a lot of people said that the sentence was a joke and evidence that money and power can buy anything. Actually, someone like Aubrey O'Day said that young girls need to be careful around anyone in a position of power who oversteps their boundaries, because they will always win. She was like, "Let this serve as a cautionary reminder to young and aspiring individuals pursuing their dreams. The true warning is not that a jury may doubt your testimony, nor that a court's sentencing guidelines may fail to reflect the years of suffering you endured. The real warning is this: the moment someone in a position of power oversteps your boundaries or demands more than is legitimately required of you, walk away and do not look back. No dream, however bright, can outweigh the pain and exploitation that may follow if you remain." Well, another person who reacted was 50 Cent, and as expected, he didn't have anything charming to say. 50 Cent actually wrote a letter addressed to the judge saying, "Dear Judge Subramanian, I have had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite his trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appeared to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male experts and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. and babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. As far as Diddy is concerned, insiders have revealed that he's devastated because anything can happen in prison, including SA, but he is also trying to stay positive and can't wait to get back to his life. Honestly, whether or not there's genuine remorse from Diddy, I don't know, but you let me know what you think of the sentencing in the comments section down below.